Okay, hello y'all, this is Crescent Moon. I'm gonna pretend that I haven't tried 5 times to do this. I'm starting a new thing called Story Time, and I know you're probably groaning and going, oh my god, what is this? This is where I start to read little snippets of stories that I've actually written. Now, yes, I am a writer, okay, and I know I've made references to my horror story, and you've heard my kid make references to the horror story, like, oh my god, this mist is like out of your book. Well, this is what it is. Now, I'm not going to go into, a lot of detail. Um, Doors, which is the first part that I'm going to read tonight, is from actual memories. Okay? I will go into things about spirits and whatnot in a segment. It might discredit me as a YouTuber. It might cause people to disown me as subscribers. Don't know. Okay? Do I care? Yes, I do. But, sorry to shake your world up a little. But not everything is not real like you'd like to think. But that's a moot point for the moment. Now, this is Doris. My main character, her name is Rose. Okay? This is her when she was about 4 years old. So, bear with me as I try once again, hopefully for the last time tonight, to read this, because I would like to move on and read bits and pieces of other segments. Okay. Doors. I never realized before how the ability of sight would mean so much to me. The ability to see or sense when something was wrong or when something was there. Something no one else seemed to see or know. I have always felt odd, strange, just out of place. Like I don't belong in the typical sense where it's some kid being goth or emo. In the sense of belonging to this reality, with its sets of dimensions and variables, it almost feels as if I'm displaced. I guess I'm rambling again. It might help everyone to understand if I just explained. Doors. What exactly do we know about doors? Oh, sure, there are wooden ones, or now metal fabricated things we use to block off entry into one's home, or provide protection from the elements getting in, or just closing the opening to another room. But what about the doors we can't so easily see? Now, do what? I bet you're asking me right now. Think of this. Have you ever watched a child playing under the playground equipment, their parents not too far away, then turn to look at a bird or just something in general to turn back, seeing that the kid has disappeared? Whether or not the child is yours, you feel momentary panic, understandable in this age of pedophiles and child harmers. As you scan the playground 2, 3, maybe 5 times, you hear a giggle. There's the same kid, same spot, parents not seeming to notice. Where the hell could that kid have gone? It had only been you and that family. I have one single word for you. Doors. I was one of those children. One of the few who could disappear while in a crowded room, just by simply walking through a door. The first door I can remember was when I was very small, around 4 years old. Now, from now on, this is written from the eyes of a 4-year-old, so think 4. Rose tossed and turned her small bed, another sleepless night for the poor 4-year-old. Nothing her parents or doctors could do, really, due to her being so little. This night was different, though, from the others, for this was one of the nights when the nightmares came. Once again, immersed in her nightmarish dream, she took off running, going as fast as her small legs could move her. But yet again, the cave seemed never-ending, a ribbed streamline tunneled into nothing but inky darkness. Just as it would seem her legs were to give out and the flying thing snatch her away, she awoke, shooting straight up in her bed, rubbing her eyes now almost brimming with unshed tears, and having a look around her room, mostly to reassure herself that she was in fact in her room, sitting on her small daybed, clutching an already raggedy old teddy bear. Her room hadn't changed any this time, much to her relief. It still had the one window across from her bed, still had the mesh net full of stuffed animals in the left corner. Her small, hard plastic picnic table was right where she had left it, next to her bed. Her wooden baby doll cradle hadn't moved from its place inside the huge pre-cut cardboard castle her daddy had put together for her. Most importantly, or at least most important to her, her closet door remained shut. She knew her daddy meant well enough when he told her that there were no monsters in her closet and that she had nothing to fear, but Daddy couldn't see like she could. He couldn't see the little boy in the closet at Grandpa's apartment who would startle her and keep her awake by making the clothes move. Her own closet was much more different. Her closet had a sinister, dangerous part to it inside. Or at least that's what the lady voice told her. See, one of her favorite hidey hole places to play in the old two-story Victorian-style house was in fact her closet, only so long as the light was left on and the door remained open. Anyone with eyes who cared enough to look could see where her toys began and where her boundary ended. Just before the back of the closet, against the back wall of it, where there should just be sheetrock studs and just plain wall, was a small crawl-space door. As far as Rose could remember, Daddy had never told her she wasn't to touch it or that she wasn't supposed to stay out of wherever that small door led to. One day, though, and she remembered this well because who wouldn't remember a nice lady's voice, she had been playing in her closet when the small door caught her eye yet again. She had been eyeing that small door for a while now, her curiosity finally tempting her into action. She put her dolly down, crawling toward the small door. A closer inspection made her realize that the door slid sideways, not opening like a normal door would. Rose had only been a few feet from the door when she felt scared suddenly. It was as if something had come up to the other side of the door and was waiting for her. She had sat back on her haunches, trying to figure out if she was just being silly or if something really was there. It's hard to explain how those who have the sight use it, but for little Rose, it was as if she had feelers, antennae, or vines, if you will, that she could use to feel if something was good or bad. And what then caused her to startle so bad she fell straight on her butt was a soft woman's voice coming from next to the small door. "No, baby girl, don't touch that door, or you'll be hurt." She blinked at the voice, scrambling in a crab-like fashion away from the small door as fast as she could move. It was what happened the nights after that caused her to want the closet door shut tightly every night. After her daddy would tuck her in at night and she could hear him walking down the creaky stairs, she looked at her closet. Normally, she would have gotten comfortable, scooted down further into her covers, and snuggled with her teddy as they both used a huge teddy bear as their pillow, still hearing Daddy's lullaby in her head as she fell asleep. Oh no, not this time. This time she got curious because her closet light had come on. She knew it had just come on because her daddy always turned out all the lights when he put her to bed. Poking her head over the edge of the white wrought iron framework of her daybed, she looked down at the bottom of her closet. Sure enough, the light was indeed on inside, but this puzzled Rose a lot, for how could the light inside her closet be on if the light switch was down? She remembered that the switch being down was lights off from when she was playing with the switch. She had been having a lot of fun giggling at what she could do until Daddy came along, telling her to stop because it wasted electricity, whatever that was. So it was odd for the light to be on. Rose gasped and let out a startled yelp. My cats are messing with me, making noises and shit. There were shadows moving as if someone were in there. This confused her even further because Daddy or some of the people living in the house hadn't come into her room, because while Daddy gave Rose her nightly spoonful of peanut butter to help her not wet the bed, the other people had left the house. They're investigating something over there. Anyway, suddenly the doorknob to her closet began to shake a little, back and forth, like someone was trying to open the door. This scared poor Rose so badly that she scrambled backwards, grabbed Teddy, and pulled the covers up and over her head. Nothing ever came out of her closet that night, but she slept under her blanket tent anyway until the bright morning sunrise rays reached through her window, washing over her face through the light-colored covers. Rose rubbed her eyes, trying to rub away the eye boogers. She crawled to the edge of her bed to look at the closet. No light shone. This time. She sighed in relief. She looked toward the window, the light peeking over the neighbor's treetops. She sat on her bed, doing a small version of the pee-pee dance, waiting on her room to light up. Like most other children, she had an aversion to what could be under the bed. But who wouldn't when you actually look and see eyes? Once her large room was vaguely lit, but enough for it to hurt the things that liked the dark, she made a beeline for the bathroom, quietly closing the door so as not to wake the lady who rented the top middle bedroom. She was nice, had brown hair, and her room was covered in strings of beads, and it always had very nice smells. After her bathroom business, she crept downstairs, passing through the huge main area of the house, where the living room and dining room table were, to the bedroom in the corner where her daddy slept. She woke him gently, him smiling upon seeing her in her small nightgown, Teddy in her arms. After they ate breakfast, she went back upstairs to play in her room, but she got bored, so she went to find her daddy. He liked to hang out in the basement where his band Chaos would play. There were some nights before she had moved from the small corner bedroom into her playroom where she was now that she could hear them play. They were a metal band, but many a night her daddy would find her asleep next to the large metal grate that covered the air duct opening after falling asleep listening to them. Okay, that was Doors. That is actual memories. Is the setting of this would have been in the early 80s, between about 1988, roughly. I'm gonna take a look at see what Milo's after while I'm talking. Give me 1 second. Milo, what are you all guys? What are you guys after? Huh? I don't see a bug. Y'all are weird, man. Jeez. No, I thought that might have been after a bug or something. Tiger had caught a spider and ate it. So I check for bugs when they go after things. But anyway, we had an old two-story Victorian. It was light blue colored. It was on Creston Avenue, or just near Creston School in Portland, Oregon, as a matter of fact. And we did actually have a couple of guys rent the basement after he renovated it. We had a lady who did, in fact, rent the upper middle room. They moved me into my playroom, so because I had 2 rooms, so I had a regular room and a playroom, you know. But that actually did happen, and the lady did keep me away from the crawl space door. You know, I had had a really bad feeling, but I was going to ignore it and open the door anyway. And that's when she spoke up. So I'm going to be going more into that as she grows up. But this little girl character, this is just the beginning of her life, okay? She's the main character of the other snippets, which I will start reading in the next videos. I'm going to try to write it chronologically for her life, but that's not how the book is written. The book is written in where she's in an asylum right now, and she's flashbacking to all this. So I'm not sure about how I should do it, so I'm gonna think about it and go from there. I might just say the hell with it and do it chronologically anyway, and let you guys figure it out as we go. So anyway, leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you want. Please share it, and I hope everyone else likes it. So this is Crescent Moon signing out, and have a scary night.